to fit the legislative institutions and navigate some of the issues that were raised and bring back some of the things that we discussed yesterday. It has been rightly put that the strategic positioning of Parliament and county assemblies within the national security theatre is defined by their constitutional mandate as guardians of the Constitution, as an oversight body and a facilitator for institutional resilience. That in effect launches us to an area where security is a dual use, where technology serves both as a shield and a weapon. And we were informed about that yesterday. And our institution must therefore evolve from a traditional physical security model towards integrated adaptive frameworks. And the paradigm that has been talked about must shift. And therefore, the emerging and evolving security threats that face legislative institutions, in my view, and they have been talked to, maybe 5 of them, but I'll speak about 3. Kenya, as we all know, faces a complex and dynamic threat landscape, which is been alluded to earlier, that is beyond physical incursion, but now digital and, most importantly, psychological. And we will experience that in the coming year, where a greater presence of misinformation, disinformation, and deepfakes, where there is use of synthetic media to impersonate members and spread misinformation aimed at inciting social disruption or undermining the dignity of the legislative institutions for different gains. The other is data exploitation, where the breach of critical legislative records, here read Hansard, biometric registers, which can be analyzed by AI-powered systems to compromise national interest. And we saw yesterday that an attack of 1 will mean an attack of 2, attack of 3, and subsequently attack of the village, an attack of the community, an attack of the country. And therefore, being aware that these systems can be compromised is important to be prepared, because some of these have become transnational and asymmetric in nature, because continued risks from traditional threats like terrorism, violent extremism, and regional instability, exacerbated by geopolitical shifts. The problems in the Middle East, the problems in Russia, hit home much more than we know. And therefore, we need to consider what happens to our border counties. That some of these activities happen, Marsabit, Wajir, Mandera, Garissa, and Narok, you are not comfortable. There are threats from the south, Taita Taveta, Kwale, Busia, West Pokot, and Migori face similar challenges. And we saw a while back during the constitutional amendment proposal by Senator Cherargei, the youth that were involved, and part of civil society, we suspect, were involved in putting down the email of the clerk of the Senate. And therefore, we must be aware that some of these risks are closer home than we think. And what do we do about the institutional resilience and crisis management? It is important that the ability to anticipate, withstand and adapt to and recover from disruptions while ensuring continuity of business must be the mandate of the legislative institution. And that rests very well with the colleagues in the House. And therefore, we must facilitate building up of robust systems that lead into physical security to protect the precincts from hybrid attacks. And that is ring-fencing some of the IT systems and communication infrastructure. For example, the adaptive capacity and the ability for folks in the House and other legislative staff to evolve the technologies and probably seek into having an integrated digital security ecosystem. The National Parliament has gone a step further in this by making sure that the integrated security management system, I hope Major Majiba is here, will speak to it later, is off any system that is external. Everything is internal, including its servers. But we know that what happens in Iran was out of a system that was internal, compromised by a few cameras within Tehran. Israel intelligence system breached those 2 cameras and are able to get to the entire cameras that were in the Republic, courtesy of only those few cameras, not more than 10. And you can imagine the effect that we see now. So the other matter is proactive crisis protocols. We know we face crises every time as arising from legislative tensions. So what do?